Psalm 46, verse 10. Cease striving and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Context and meaning. Psalm 46 is a song of trust in God's sovereign protection. Throughout the psalm, the psalmist paints a picture of chaos, nations raging, mountains trembling, but insists that the Lord is our refuge. Verse 10 shifts from the imagery of tumult to a summons of stillness. Cease striving. Hebrew, rapha, let go. Relax. It isn't a call to passivity in the face of evil, but an invitation to stop fighting anxiety and to rest in God's control. The repetition of "I will be exalted" underscores God's ultimate triumph over all powers, both political and natural. What is means today? Letting go of anxiety. In an age of constant news updates, social media debates, and economic pressures, our instinct is to fight back with worry or overwork. Psalm 46:10 invites us to pause, to acknowledge our limits and trust God's governance. Practically, this might look like taking a deep breath before reacting to alarming headlines, or scheduling tech-free moments to quiet our minds. Trusting divine sovereignty. We often assume that our personal planning and human systems are what ultimately set the course of history. Yet this verse reminds us that God is the supreme ruler, and his purposes transcend elections, markets, and cultural shifts. When we know that I am God, we root our hope in his character rather than in transient trends or policies. Countercultural stillness. Today's culture prizes productivity and always-on ambition. But spiritual maturity involves discerning when to labor and when to rest in God's strength. Consider carving out a weekly Sabbath or daily pause, moments when you deliberately stop striving and invite God to speak. Global perspective. The psalm announces God's exaltation among the nations and in the earth, reminding us of his concern for every people group. In practical terms, this can fuel our prayers for international peace, support for global missions, and compassionate engagement with refugees and marginalized communities. Reflection. Questions. What are the strivings in your life? Worry, busyness, perfectionism that you need to release to God? How can you cultivate regular practices of stillness and listening in prayer or scripture? In what ways does recognizing God's sovereignty reshape your response to world events or personal crises? Takeaway. Psalm 46 verse 10 isn't an excuse for laziness, but an invitation to trusted rest, to stop wrestling with forces beyond our control and to affirm, by faith and action, that he is God. When we cease striving, we discover a deeper peace and become reflections of his calm authority to a restless world.